What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Jakks Pacific World of Nintendo 6-inch deluxe figure, Bowser. I'm really happy I have him. I took a while to actually track this guy down, but I'm so glad I have him. We have him in this really nice, massive box. On the side, a nice rendering of Bowser. There's nothing on the other side, it's just more of the figure. On the back, we have the World of Nintendo. This is an officially licensed product by Nintendo. Bowser is the king of the Koopas. He has 9 points of articulation, as you can see right here. And at the bottom, we see other figures in this assortment, include Donkey Kong, Mario, Yoshi, Link, and Wario. Really glad I found this guy. So what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him opened up, and we'll go on to the rest of his review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have the World of Nintendo Bowser posing out packaging. Now let's get a good 360 of him. His tail is wrong, but anyway, going on. I have mixed feelings about this figure. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm not sure if I expected more out of him or they just didn't meet what I had expected for him, but more on that later. But he is just overall, he's a nice looking figure. I will say that. We'll do the pros and then we'll do the cons. He's a nice figure. He stands out really well, and for a size comparison, let's bring in Yoshi really fast. And as you can see, he towers over Yoshi. In fact, just look how big he is compared to Yoshi. Yoshi doesn't even come close to his girth. Moving Yoshi off to the side. And like I said, he's a really nice looking figure. They did a really good job capturing his in-game likeness. It's like he just jumped right out of the video game and into my hands, quite literally. I do like the sculpting detail on him. I wish that they would have painted the lining on his shell. I mean, the detail is there. I just wish that they would have used a darker wash to represent, you know, the lining in his shell. But overall, as I've said already, he's a good-looking figure. Now, this is my problem with this particular Bowser figure. The quality control on him is much, much worse than the smaller figures. In all honesty, you'd expect with a larger figure, you know, the paint detail would be much better, but honestly, his paint job is really sloppy. I'm not sure if you can see, but right in there, there's some white on his tongue, and that irks me a lot because, you know, that's really noticeable. You can see right in his eyebrows that it's not even painted all the way, like there's some chipping going on. And then under his arm there's some black paint from his guard, and then over on this side it's not even completely painted, it's still like this lighter gray. And then you can see some of the spines on here aren't even painted properly, so like I said, he's just riddled with quality control paint issues. And even on his shell we have some marks on where they're not supposed to be, and on this spine you can see it's not even painted all the way. I think my biggest complaint about this Bowser is quality control and maybe the lack of articulation. I think I expected a little more articulation out of him. I'm going to say this right off the bat. I messed up with this Bowser figure. You can see mine has a really loose wrist. His wrists are not meant to swivel. Do not try spinning his wrist around, because it just loosens them up a lot, and you can see right there. Like I said, I think I expected a little more out of this figure, and I'm not saying he's a bad figure, he just didn't meet my expectations. Queen of Dragons might say something else, but you know, he didn't meet my expectations, honestly. And like I said, for what he is, he's a good looking figure. And going on to his articulation, he has I don't know what type of joint this is, but his arm moves back and forth and does this. It doesn't really swivel, it's like on a ball hinge. He has an elbow joint which moves about that far, you can see. And his wrist has a joint right here, a hinge, which allows movement, but like I said, it does not swivel. Do not try to swivel Bowser's wrist. It will not move. And if it does, it's probably going to break or loosen up a lot, like mine did right here. Thankfully, it didn't break. He has no articulation in the head that I can see. I'm pretty sure that's just how they connected his head. But his legs, also on a ball joint like Yoshi's, which is pretty impressive for Bowser. I mean, you can see that. Over and out. And his tail swivels, and that's all his articulation. Like I said, I think I expected a little too much from him, but at the same time, it's Bowser. He's not going to be like moving around the way Link would or a human character would, so I think it's forgivable in the articulation. But the quality control, that bugs me a lot. Not much more to say, so what I'm going to do now is get him posed up and move on to my final thoughts, so sit tight everybody. And here we have Bowser, the King of the Koopas, posed for my final thoughts. And overall, he's a really nice figure. He's good looking. However, paint-wise, they could have done much better. My main gripes with him is his paint and lack of articulation. I'm willing to overlook the articulation because, like I said, he is not a human-like character. You know, he has arms and legs, but he can't function like a regular character, so they have to do something else. For what he is, he's a really nice figure. I found him at Toys R Us and picked him up for about $18 with tax. That's a pretty fair price, seeing as how, you know, most 6-inch figures are going for like $20, $21 nowadays. He's a really nice looking figure. He'll look great in any Mario display. If you're going to display him, use caution because he is kind of heavy, but at the same time he seems kind of fragile. I'm not sure how that comes off, but like, he has some hollow parts to him, as you can hear. His legs are completely hollow and his torso is hollow, so be careful. I don't think he'll be able to survive a long drop. But if you can find him, I highly recommend you pick him up. If you're a Mario fan, if you're a casual collector, I say pass on him. This isn't a figure you're gonna want to keep. However, I do like him. I wish he came with an accessory, but you know, he didn't, unfortunately, so can't do anything about that. But anyway, like I said, if you're a Mario fan, pick him up. If you're a casual collector, just go ahead and pass on him. And this is King of Dragons 5000 saying, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.